Hello and welcome to this lesson of The Soul by Frusciante, which got suggested to me quite a lot in the comments. So in this lesson I will go through each of the rhythm guitar parts of the song, and the structure is that for each part I will first give an explanation of the part and then I will have a play along with tabs part. And I have timestamps in the description so you can pick the parts that you're interested in. So yeah, this way you can kind of design this lesson however you want. So yeah, let's jump right into the lesson. So the tuning is in standard tuning except for the high E string, which I have tuned to an F sharp. So a tone up or two semitones. And the reason for that is that I believe I can hear this voicing of the B chord with, open strings in the original, which is quite hard to do in standard tuning. And also if you have it in standard tuning, one of the trickiest fingering you will have to do is this shape, which can be, tricky to mute the low E string. But you can kind of pull this song off in standard tuning as long as you play 2 frets up on the high E string. But note that this is only an issue for the verse, but for the interlude and the outro we don't play the high E string anyway, so then it doesn't matter. So let's jump into the verse, and the chords are C sharp minor add 9, but you can finger it as a C sharp minor with this tuning. And then we have the B add 9, and then we have a regular A with this voicing without the high E string and this voicing with the high E string. And note that it is still the same chord but different voicing, because we have this note here, the third, here as well. And then we have this voicing of the B chord, which is quite cool with the open strings, and also this voicing. And both are the same chords but just different voicings. And also the B add 9 chord again. And the best way to get into the strumming pattern is to simply do this and then every now and then do a ghost up strum, meaning that you don't hit the strings on the up strums, and do that every now and then. So and when you get a feel for this, you pretty much have the main idea of the verse strumming pattern down. Because if we take a look at the C sharp minor add 9 chord, the strumming pattern is, as you can see on the screen, and by the way, an up arrow means a down strum, and the reason for that is, tabs are reversed, so don't get confused by that. But yeah, you start with 2 down strums, so down goes up, down, like that. So, and then you do down, up, so like that again, and then you do muted down up and then down. So again and again. And I think it's really good to learn this exact pattern because it is quite consistent throughout the verse. Because you have the exact same pattern for the B add 9 chord. Then you mix between these 2 chords quite a lot, and then you get into the A major chord. And I believe that on the down strum he have this voicing, not the high E string, and then he adds the high E string. So, and then for the B chord it gets even crazier, because first I believe he has this voicing, and then he has this voicing, and then on the last strum I believe he ends with this chord, so the add 9 version, by simply lifting his pinky. So I really recommend to pay attention to those small changes of the chords, because I really think it adds a lot, and it is easy to just overlook that and play the same voicing of the chord throughout the song. But yeah, let's play this slowly, first at 70 beats per minute, playing the verse 1 time and slightly shorten it so it doesn't get too repetitive. And full speed 91 beats per minute. And now let's play it 2 times. And then we get to the rhythm guitar of the first solo, and the chords are quite similar to before, but just a different voicing. So first we have the C sharp minor, but we don't play the high E string. So I really recommend to finger it like this, so you kind of move your index finger up a little bit and then create an angle, because then you get this, where the high E doesn't ring out while the other two does. You can do it like this as well, but then it gets harder to do the next voicing, which is the add 9, where you add this note. It's a lot easier to play it with this fingering. But that is just a suggestion. And when it comes to the B chord, he has this voicing without the high E string, and then this voicing where he has this note, and this is still the third, which we already had here, so it's still the B chord, you know, but just a different voicing. And then he also had the B add 9 by removing his pinky. So, and when it comes to the A, it's the same as before, so this voicing, and this voicing, and when it comes to the B again, this voicing, and this voicing. And when it comes to the strumming pattern, it is quite interesting, because it's quite similar to before, but what he does this time is down, and then goes up, but then goes down and goes up, and then same as before. So what you get then is, again, like that. And one thing I like to add here is that I really recommend to do these ghost and up strums, so you don't do it like this, where you just keep your hand still, because then you kind of lose the feel for the rhythm. So instead do it like this. Yeah, let's play it slowly at 70 beats per minute one time. And full speed 91 beats per minute and 2 times. And now we get to the first interlude, which consists of basic major and minor bar chords, like you can see on the screen. So the only thing I like to add here before you can play along to it is that you keep that consistent down and up, so don't do it like this, you know, like that, but instead, you know, keeping that consistent down and up. And also I really recommend to learn the exact pattern, and don't overlook things like that muted down strum there, because things like that really add a lot to it. But yeah, I think the best way is that I simply play along to the tab here. And once again, I like to remind you that a down arrow means an up strum and vice versa, because tabs are reversed. Yeah, let's play it 2 times at 70 beats per minute. And at full speed 91 beats per minute. And I think we can do this one 4 times. And when we transition between the first interlude and the second interlude, he plays an A major chord and a B major chord. And yeah, we leave out the root on the E string, so really it becomes a slash chord, you know. But anyway, it goes like this. And the second interlude is quite similar and maybe a bit simpler than the first interlude. So we have these basic major and minor chord, but again we leave out the root, so really most of them become slash chords, and you know they are. And the third time we actually don't play this chord, but actually we play this chord, the B chord, but with a different root. But then this doesn't happen every time, it only happens 2 times. And maybe all this sounds confusing now, but I think you will get it when you play along to the song. Or you can study the tab linked in the description. And yeah, my advice is the same as before, you know, keep that consistent up and down, so like that, and not, you notice that difference, you know. And yeah, now I think we can simply play that slowly 2 times at 70 beats per minute. And I have actually removed the time signature here, so it's not 4/4 because, yeah, it's a little bit complicated in its structure. But yeah, 70 beats per minute 2 times. And now 4 times at 91 beats per minute. And one thing I can add here is that before the solo that comes in this part, he holds onto this chord a bit longer, you know. So don't get confused by that when you play along to the original song. And now we get to what I call the outro, which simply consists of basic major and minor bar chords. So B major, A major, G flat minor, and C sharp minor. And when it comes to the fingerpicking, you got a hybrid fingerpicking pattern. And the pattern is that you start off the chord by playing the root with your pick and a higher note with your finger. And after that, you play the rest with your pick, and you do that for each chord. So yeah, notice this when I play the first round here. So. In the second round, you remove this chord and do another pattern on the C sharp minor chord. So that is. And what I can add here is that I found that a lot of people, instead of playing it up here, they play the same chord, the C sharp minor chord, but down here. So yeah, it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. So it's, and then the fill usually is, so you know, just reversed from the other, which is. So yeah, let's play that 2 times at 70 beats per minute. And then full speed 91 beats per minute. What we can add here is that before the first solo of this part, he does. And then for the second solo of this part, he does. And then to end the whole song, he does. So hopefully you enjoyed that lesson, and in the description I got linked to a Guitar Pro tab, which is also available in PDF format in case you don't have the software. And yeah, the tab can be good to get an overview of the song, but really also to zoom into small details that I didn't really have time to cover here in this lesson, you know, like small changes in the strumming pattern and small fills and things like that. And also I have a link in the description to a play along cover that I did for this song, so you can see how all these parts that I taught here come together. And yeah, please let me know if this lesson was helpful and if you're interested in a follow-up lesson where I go through the solos. And yeah, with that said, I'll see you in the next video.